Hey guys, I'm going to show you guys a pretty disgusting idea I've come up with. So, the thing is, right now, there isn't a super good way to do this to give your opponent a monster to control. But, like, an effect similar to Ibli will do. The issue is that Utopia Dragnar will lock you into numbers, I guess. Well, not numbers, XYZ monsters. So, that's a bit rough, this strategy in particular. But there was one water monster, I believe, level 4, so like if we go effect, water 4, let's go find it real quick. Wait, okay. Opponent, if we type opponent, that should make it a lot easier to find. I believe it was none of these. Silent Wobby, yeah. Silent Wobby would do, like, to an extent. But I mean, it's not really doable with Utopia Dragnar specifically. Well, what I'm talking about simply is that one of the things you can do, I suppose, that it's pretty brief, honestly. It's dumb. So we have Geonator Transverser, of course, and then we have Acid Golem, and we have Bahamut Shark. If you go ahead and use Bahamut Shark's effect, you can special summon a rank 3 or lower Water XYZ monster from your extra deck. And then this allows you to summon a acid golem with no materials, and then you can go ahead and, let's say you give your opponent a Siley Wobby, you of course put this to the middle zone, and then you can go ahead and Geonator Transverser the acid golem with the silent Wobby, and then your opponent just will not be able to special summon, period. So it's like a similar to Ibli, but a bit different. And using this would be pretty awkward. So you also have this to cover for the normal summon. You have Stealth Kraken popping whatever your opponent tries to normal summon. So yeah, that'll stop them from tributing over this potentially. Otherwise, you can run over whatever with battle. And of course, since you summon it with Bahamut Shark, this actually will have no materials. So the main interaction I want to go over, though, is that Stealth Kraken is a numbers monster, which means it can be summoned off of Utopia Dragnar, which in turn can be summoned from Utopia Double. You do have to run a Garnet in Double or Nothing, though. Double or Nothing. We're struggling here. Alright, there it is. Double or Nothing. So you have to run one copy of Double or Nothing, but you can go ahead Utopia Double into Utopia Dragnar, and then with Utopia Dragnar, you can summon a copy of Stealth Kraken. All of your monsters are now water, which is cool because you can activate Kairyushin to search a copy of Torrential Tribute, and this is kind of like a Raigeki, kind of, but not really, not quite. Well, it is a Raigeki in the sense that none of your monsters will be destroyed because they will all be waters because of Stealth Kraken effect, and then protected by Kairyushin, meaning you also just have a blanket protection on all of the monsters on your field, which is pretty good as well. It's specifically card effect, but that's still pretty decent. So then we also have, like, we used to have the option, I suppose I should say. We could have gone, for example, Utopia Double into Dragnar, summon Stealth Kraken, and then we can summon Bahamut Shark with our other two 4s, and then go ahead and make Totally. And we can, of course, summon Totally the next turn as well. And this sends a Aqua, so you kind of have to send, I guess, Totally itself, which is fine. So, Totally, you could have made it with just like a 4-spam deck, a rank 4 spam deck, which is pretty cool, I guess. But now you can't because the toad is banned, unfortunately. But I mean, there is stuff you can still do at the very least, so not all is lost, I suppose. The most interesting combo I found for that utilizes this kind of, I guess you could call it engine, but I mean, the way it's played is kind of weird, but it still results in a pretty strong inboard. I believe I couldn't fit in like Bahamut Shark on the first turn, but it was still pretty solid. So we utilized machines, and specifically the best like one card starter for like oh whoops, the best one card starter for rank 4s. I'm pretty sure like the best normal summon you can do is Time Thief Regulator, and then through Regulator you can make a very large number of rank 4s actually. It spams them out like with one card. It's actually pretty crazy to an extent. But I don't know. If you get ashed or something, then you're kind of cooked because you wasted your normal summon on Time Thief Regulator. And then in terms of level 4 monsters, I don't think there's really any extending from that point, which kind of sucks, but it is nice that the Time Thief main deck monsters actually don't lock you into anything, and they're also fairly generic, and they don't require you to actually use, like, you don't have to make Redoer, you don't have to make Time Thief Double Barrel, you don't need Perpetua, you can just use them as, like, a 4's engine, which is pretty neat in my opinion. Well, if you don't open Time Thief Regulator, I'm not really sure what you do, though. I mean, I guess there's still some plays, but Regulator is simply the best Time Thief starter, I believe. So I guess I'll leave a link in the description below to the video where I made a combo that utilizes a bunch of different engines and the Time Thief Regulator. So, the Time Thief combo I think that you guys will most be able to recognize is probably just the one that utilizes the Raid Raptors to summon Kali Yuga on your opponent's turn. I'm pretty sure that's where you guys would most likely recognize the Time Thief engine, because aside from that, I don't think it was really used for much else. And I've honestly never seen anyone play like actual just Time Thief cards. Not really sure what Time Thieves can manage, but I believe Time Thieves are still pretty solid. With your Time Thief Retrograde, this is on Omni Negate, and the removal for removal here is pretty nasty. Attaching instead of like sending to the graveyard or destroying, so that's pretty nice. And then you also have your like Redoer, spin a card back. So I think that's pretty cool. And I'll see you guys in the next video, I guess. Bye.